guys, and welcome to a new GTK ActionBar tutorial. Today we are going to talk about something new, something which is not provided through its documentation, and I'm talking about GTK properties, or better say, I'm talking about properties. As you already know, the GTK ActionBar has only child properties, but it doesn't have properties at all. This means the documentation expects for you to understand the way how it works, and if you follow its documentation right here at the top where it says object hierarchy, you can see that it belongs to GTK bin, which belongs to GTK container, and then to GTK widget, and so on. But if you start clicking on all these widgets and follow the properties, okay, GTK bin doesn't seem to provide something. GTK container has also a lot of properties, at this point 3, whatever, and the GTK widget I meant has a lot of properties, as you can see, but it doesn't mean that all these properties which the GTK widget has, or the G object itself and so on, does apply to your widget. So to be sure about which kind of widget, which kind of properties you can apply on your object, in this case to our GTK action bar, you need first to find them. So for this is the thing which we are going to talk now. We are going to find out which exactly properties we can use on our action bar. For this we are going to use we are going to create a function. Let's say void list properties, or list object property or properties, and it will take a G object this time because we need an object, no matter which one. And once that we create this function, we need to put some information inside of it, and this function needs two functions call, which we need to provide. I already prepared them for you. The first one, it is the G object class list property, which is a function which returns you an array of G param spec for all properties of a class, in this case the class which we need to. And the second function which we needed, it is the G param spec get name, right here, and this is the name of the property basically, which we retrieve it from the G param spec. For this we are going to first check this function. This function says it needs two arguments. The first one is the object class, and the second one is the number of the properties. So returns the location of the length of the return array, which means that we first need to declare this one right here. So I'm going to copy it and declare it right here. And the second one which we need to declare a G param spec double pointer. Once that we have it, now we can call safely this function. And we are going to pass the class of the object, like it says here. We need a class. For this there is a function which help us to get the class. It is right here. It's a macro G object get class, and then we are going to pass, of course, our object. And the second thing which we need is to pass the number of the properties which we can get. We don't need a pointer. Once that we have it, now with the help of the for loop, and properties plus, and now because we created our for loop, we can declare a pointer. Let's call it property name, and we are going to point it to the aspect get name, and of course here we are going to pass the parameter spec one by one, and now we can print them. Okay, and we are going to print the position, and of course, why not the name of the property as well, EI, and then the property name. Now that the function is ready to be used, we can call it list object properties right here, and we are going to pass, of course, our action bar. And now I'm going to compile it and run it. Yes, we need to cast it to GObject, because we decide to use a GObject. And as you can see, now we can check all these properties which we can apply on our action bar, which are quite of many, 41. Now, because we do have these properties, with the help of the GObject set, or which function you want to set the properties, you can call it, and you can set the properties. Here will be a property name, and the value, something like this. So, which means if I compile it now and run it, we have no property name right now. But let's say the child property, it should be, I don't know. Let me use the center widget right now, right here. I want to use, instead of the center, as a normal child. And now, as you can see, the center child now it is right here, which is the camera. Of course, you can use the parent as well, and the parent, of course, it is the grid, because we are putting basically the action bar inside the grid. I'm going to comment because we don't need this call anymore. We are setting it through the GObject set, and now you see it's working fine. There are a lot of other things which you can use. I know, let's say sensitive, for example. Let me clean the code a little bit. Set it to false, and now we cannot click. I think we cannot click the buttons anymore because we set the sensitivity of the action bar to false, which means basically we disable it. So this is the way how you handle properties for your GTK action bar. If you want to handle those properties, before you set some properties, you need to know which properties are available for your widget. And in this tutorial I showed you how you find all those properties which you can apply to your widget. That being said, thank you guys for watching. If you like it, please subscribe, share with your friends and neighbors, and until next time, see you guys.